Yes, let us solve the given quadratic equation here. We have x to power 2 minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. For us to solve this quadratic equation, there is one thing we need to consider first. This plus 6 as the constant in the quadratic equation. This value that is not having any x on it or any unknown at it, which is plus 6 in this situation. What are we considering it for? We are finding two numbers, two pairs of this factor plus 6, that if you multiply it together you have 6, and if you add them together you have minus 5. So let's consider one of the pairs to be 1 multiplied by 6 will give us 6, give us plus 6. The next one will be 2 multiplied by 3 will give us plus 6. The other one is minus 1 multiplied by minus 6 will give us plus 6. The next one is equal to minus 2 multiplied by minus 3 will give us plus 6 too. So these are the possible numbers that if you multiply together you will get plus 6. So what are we looking for? We are looking for this pair of numbers that if you multiply together you have plus 6, such that if you add them together they will give you minus 5. So let's consider 1 plus 6 is giving us 7. Let's consider 2 plus 3 is giving us 5. Let us consider minus 1 plus minus 6 is giving us minus 7. Let us consider minus 2 plus minus 3 is giving us minus 5. So now from all indication here, now we have this that has been satisfied the two conditions. If you add this together you get minus 5. If you multiply together you get plus 6. So minus 2 and minus 3 satisfy the condition for solving this quadratic equation. So we are going to consider minus 3 and minus 2 as the pair of factors that have satisfied the condition for solving that, and we are going to replace it with minus 5x. So let us have a fresh board to solve and see how it is going to be solved. So in this case now we are considering x to power 2 minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. So we have x to power 6 minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 is equal to 0. So in this situation now, you see that minus 3x plus 2x is the same thing as minus 5x. Nothing has changed from the expression. So let us group these numbers into two brackets. So we are going to have x open bracket x square minus 3x close bracket minus open bracket 2x minus 6x bracket close. Why are we having minus here? This minus that is here is now multiplying through the bracket. So if you have minus multiplied by minus, we have plus 6x, and this minus we multiply by this 2x, we have minus 2x. So in this situation down, the next step is for us to find the common factors in this bracket and the common factors in this particular bracket here. So how are we going to do it? We see that x is common here and x is common here. So we are taking out this x, open bracket x minus 3 bracket close, because this x times x will give you x square, x times minus 3 will give you minus 3x. So the next thing now we are going to consider is the common factor in this bracket, which is 2. You can see 2 is here and 2 is here, because 2 multiplied by 3 is giving you 6. So we are going to take out that 2 that is common here and 2 that is here. So we have minus 2 open bracket x minus 3 close bracket, which is equal to 0. At this point in time, you see that nothing has been changed from this expression. If you expand all of these things, you are still going to have what is here. Let's see it out. X times x will give you x square, x times minus 3 will give you minus 3x, minus 2 times x will give you minus 2x, and minus 2 times minus 3 will give you plus 6, which is still equal to 0. So at this point in time, there is one thing you need to observe, which is you can see that this bracket is the same thing. What is in the bracket here is the same thing as what is in the bracket here. Is being attached to x, so it is common on the both side. So it is a common factor among this expression here. So let's take the common factor x minus 3 in the bracket outside, x minus 3 close. So we are left with x on this side, we are left with minus 2 on this side. So let's open the bracket and say x minus 2 is equal to 0. So at this point in time, there is one thing I want you to observe. I want all of us to observe, and I want all of us to know, and I want you too to know. For any numbers multiplying each other, you can see that this one is multiplying this one, and the result here is equal to 0. It is either one of the numbers is 0 or all the numbers are 0. So if one of the number is 0, we are going to express it as x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. So now for us to know the value of x, now we are going to take this across the equality sign, and x will be equal to 3, or x will be equal to 2. So now the next thing, the values of x is what? 2 or 3. The factors of the quadratic equation is what? 2 or 3. The root of the quadratic equation are 2 and 3. Then the values of x, which is the solution for that quadratic equation, is what? 2 and 3. Therefore, the factors, can call it factors or roots or solution of the quadratic equation is therefore the factors of the quadratic equation is, or are, are, because there are two and 3 as the solution. Please share and subscribe to my YouTube channel Kismatica. 25. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel and share the solution to get to many people as possible. That is the solution for the quadratic equation. If you have any question, you can ask in the comment section. If you have a correction too, you can ask in the comment section too. So let's take the second example on quadratic equation 2 for today. So the second example on quadratic equation we are considering now is we have x to power 2 minus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. So now in this situation now, we are still going to consider this minus 5 too, which is the constant. Let us have minus 5 and its factors, the one of the, and the pair of factors. So we have 1 multiplying by minus 5 will give us minus 5. We have minus 1 multiplying by 5 will give us minus 5. These are the factors. These are the factors of this quadratic, of this minus 5. So for us to identify which of the pair are we going to use, we need to add this pair of factors together and see which of the pair is going to give us minus 4. So in this situation now, let us have 1 plus minus 1 plus minus 4 is equal to, this one will be minus 4. Then this one now we have minus 1 plus 5 will give us 4. So in this case now we have this satisfying this, and we have this one here. So we are going to consider the pair 1 and minus 5 as the factors of the constant minus 5. If you multiply them together, you have minus 5. If you add them together, you have minus 4. So let us consider that and solve as follows. So now let us have a fresh board and consider this: x to power 2 minus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Now we have x square minus, the first order factor is minus 5x plus 1, which is x. 1x is the same thing as x minus 5 is equal to 0. So now the first thing that should come into our mind is grouping this equation into two brackets, which we have x square minus 5x close plus x minus 5 close is equal to 0. Then the next thing we are going to do at this point is to factor out what is common in this bracket and what is common in this bracket. So we are considering the first bracket now. What is common here is x, and x is common here. So we are going to take this x out. 1x is remaining here. X times x will give us x square minus 5. Close the bracket, because x times minus 5 will give us minus 5x. We bring down the plus. Then what is common here and what is common here? This one is 1x. So 1 is common here and 1 is common here. So you take the 1 out. Open bracket, x minus 5 close bracket is equal to 0. So the next thing we are going to do, if you can look very well, minus 5x in bracket is also here as minus 5x in bracket. So it is common on the both side. So we are going to take it here as minus 5x in bracket close. Then we are going to bring in what is left as x plus 1, close the bracket, and equal to 0. At this point in time, we should understand that any number at all that is multiplying each other and the result is equal to 0, it is either one of the number is equal to 0 or all the numbers are 0. So let us solve and see what is there. So we are going to express it in this form now. X minus 5 is equal to 0, or x plus 1 is equal to 0. So in this situation now, we are moving this x across the equality sign to know the value of x. So we will have x will be equal to 5, or x will be equal to minus 1. So therefore, the solution of this quadratic equation is x is equal to 5 and minus 1 as the solution. Thank you all. Please kindly share for me, abeg o, make una share. Subscribe my YouTube channel Kismatica25. Subscribe my YouTube channel abeg, Kismatica25, Kismatica25. You people should subscribe. I carry God beg una. If you are having any question on this, or correction, or suggestion, please write it in the comment section. The next solution will be coming up soon. Thank you all. I'm grateful for your time. Please subscribe and share.